Every year, the nation's capital floods with police officers from across America, and the president thanks them and their families for their sacrifice.
It takes a special kind of courage to be a peace officer, to be the one people turn to in their most desperate moments, to be willing to run into a dangerous situation when everybody else is running the other way.
But this year, there was acknowledgement, too, of the tension between police and the communities they serve.
We can work harder as a nation to heal the rifts that still exist in some places between law enforcement and the people you risk your lives to protect.
Among the rank and file, the tension feels very real.
The tension is real high. You have a lot of officers that are actually leaving, going to other professions because of the negative tension that we're getting right now.
There's a sense in some communities that more folks are, I wouldn't say against us, there's just some vocal individuals. But we're starting to see a lot of our citizens that don't feel that way that are equally as supportive of us.
The crisis in American policing was vividly illustrated this month in Baltimore after a young man called Freddie Gray died in police custody and his community took to the streets in protest. Baltimore's police chief calls it a clarion moment, just like the violence that followed the assassination of Martin Luther King.
You look at in 1968 when there was rioting and looting in multiple cities. That's where the landscape changed and government had to catch up. In Los Angeles, where you had the Rodney King issues, and there you had looting, but that was also a clarion call for change. So it takes place. It's just what you do afterwards is a critical piece.
Right now, our credibility is at stake.
Police chiefs gathered at this summit to rethink the use of force and watched a recruitment video from a small town in Texas. Its lingering emphasis on target practice, with inspiration from George Orwell declaring people are only safe because rough men stand ready to do violence. No ad for the analytical problem solvers the chiefs say they need.
Our officers today may need the skills of a warrior, but they have to have the mindset of a guardian.
Our officers were engaging in physical violence.
Among the Americans, senior British police.
The public were telling us that, the trust and confidence levels just weren't there.
Talking to their experiences in Manchester and Scotland, flown in to describe how they've reduced the use of force at home.
We are an unarmed service. They deal with threats, they deal with people with weapons, but they do it from an unarmed perspective. And what we train our officers to do is try and resolve any confrontation at the lowest level. We try and resolve it safely.
We have people dying.
Back in Baltimore, the front line of America's policing crisis, an ex-officer tells me how broken he believes the system is in America. So if you had a kind of young family member who was coming to you saying, I really want to be a policeman and I really want to be a policeman in Baltimore, what would your reaction be?
Well, my reaction would be under the current environment, I would advise no.
A 34-year veteran of the service, Neil Franklin, says the current crisis is not easily explained by race or as a white versus black issue.
It's more a blue versus black issue, blue being police. We, the police, enforce the way we do, making the numbers of arrests the way we do in poor black communities. There's no political structure, there's no political power, there's no political influence, and we, the police, can literally just come in and do anything we want.
Neil now campaigns against drug prohibition. He blames the war on drugs for driving a wedge between communities and police.
Anyone who's violating a law surrounding the war on drugs, the war on terror, the war on whatever it is, they go in and make that arrest. And the issue, the true issue, is never properly dealt with.
There's much at stake in this clarion moment on America's streets, not only for those who police them, but for those who live there too. Kylie Morris, Channel 4 News, Baltimore.